how we can create a custom organization, how we can create a hierarchy, we can assign roles to it. It can be, we can create a subtype specifically for that kind of organization, like we talked about call centers and inbound and outbound, and then sales and hardware sales, software sales, and support contracts, and so on. So you use customer organizations to identify and group in number of people, and that helps you in reporting, in your business processes, in your compensation, and other areas as well. So when a person has been assigned to a organization that is Workday delivered or a custom organization, it would show in their membership. How do we get to the membership? So let's go to say Swapna. And we go to the worker profile. And I go to the job. In the job, I have a tab called organizations. So as we build up our tenant, you would start seeing that these areas are being populated. So she is a member of these three organizations. Special access hidden maintainer org subtype name. Organization type is this. Subtype is this. Then she's part of this company, CF company, and she is part of this supervisory organization right here. And what is she managing or leading as a manager or as a leader of that organization? So she is the leader for the cost center for HR, CFHR. Then she is also the manager for these supervisory organizations. Here you can see the types and the organization role that she has. So as a person grows and gets more responsibilities in terms of leadership or a manager role in multiple types of organizations, this table will continue to grow, both of them side by side. And that would be an easiest way to see what this person is doing or what responsibilities that this person has in the organization. So workers can reside in a number of organization types. They must be hired into a supervisory organization, but can also be part of a company, a cost center, region, custom organizations. And if you look at Logan McNeil, she is part of these 10 organizations like company, company hierarchy, cost center, its hierarchy, location, pay group, regional hierarchy, region, supervisory, and so on. And these subtypes are mentioned on the last column. And she is a manager or a leader of these 21 organizations within the tenant. But if you see it now, it would be beyond 21. It would be in hundreds, I would say. Because a lot of people use Logan McNeil's profile to create supervisory organizations or cost centers or location or matrix organizations and continue to assign her the manager role or the owner role. So what are organization assignments on a supervisory organization? So like see on the tenant, if I open her supervisory organization, and there's a tab here called organization assignments. Here we can see that the organization type company has been assigned a default organization. Similarly, the cost center has been assigned a default organization. So when a default organization is added at the supervisory organization level, all the members in that supervisory organization will default to those organization assignments. They, of course, can be assigned separate organization if need be by the change organization assignment task that we were trying to do yesterday. But by default, inheritance would occur for all the members of this organization called HR operations to these default organizations. And if I want to add restrictions that which organizations the members could be part of, I can only add them to the allowed organization tab, and they would be restricted to only these organizations. This may be in use when you need to have a very, very, very tight control on organization assignments, because then when this happens, when you only put the allowed organization, nothing else can be assigned. And the business process will error out if those organizations are not selected. It is like hard coding a value for company, cost center, and region. But with this, it will auto default to it, but the HR partner or whoever is doing the change organization assignment would have options to select any other options available for that particular supervisory organization or worker at the time of change org assignment. So preference is to put it on default and give that flexibility to your HR partners or HR operations. But if you need to restrict, you can then add those values to the allowed organizations. And how do you do that? Again, I go to super related actions, go to the supervisory organization task and edit supervisory organization. If I scroll down, I can see that the company and cost center are in default. And if I can add them here as well. So now you can see here that I can only select in my list would be CF company only. But in case of cost center, because I have not hard coded the allowed organization as yet, it will show me all the available cost centers that can be selected. There are too many of them. So let's say HR. So I see all the cost centers available for HR that are available in the tenant. But if I hard code this, or restricted in the allowed organization tab, all the other options will not be available to us or the user when they're doing the change org assignment. It'll just be one. Of course, I can have more than one value in the allowed organization. Say I want to add these two in the allowed organization as well. Then again, the list will be restricted to all these 4 departments or 4 cost centers only. So I can select one of the two as one of them as a default organization. Say I want this to be default, but in the list when you're doing a change org assignment, you'll see all the 3 available options as well. So when you need to tighten up the restrictions, then you use a combination of default and allowed. Otherwise, you can just do the default organization. So supervisory organizations have an organization assignment tab. You use this to identify other organization types that you can assign as default during staffing changes. This allows employees who are hired or moved into a supervisory organization to automatically become members of those other types of organizations, such as companies and cost centers or custom organizations. These default organization assignment can be set up for each support or for an individual position, and the assignment can be edited for individual employees. These assignments are inherited by the superorg and subordinates, superorg subordinates and the subordinate. Right. So there is an allowed organization field in which you can enter one or more organizations, and this controls which organizations will be available in the prompt list when assigning organizations to a position or an employee. The default organization field is the organization that the position or employee automatically associates with when moved into a supervisory organization. If this needs to be changed, you can use a change org assignment for individual employees or use change org assignment task to change organization assignment for one or more workers. Or say, let's go to Vinay and let's change his organizations. So we go to organizations tab on the worker. I don't have to go to the profile of the worker. I can just do it from the related action of the employee itself and say change organization assignment. Say effective date today, press OK. And here I can see the organization types sorted, like organizations like company, cost center. So CF HR. That's the cost center we chose. If I need to assign a region, say North America, which is already created. And then all the custom orgs. So others are all the custom organizations that are either delivered or created by the tenant managers, like Division, Growth Share, ACC Club, Club KR, Production and Assembly, Focus Industries. Like there's one for COVID vaccine members, but who has been vaccinated. If you want to add them for reporting purposes, you can do that. Like we have a weekend batch, the weekday batch, ABC company, and so on. And you may see some errors here. When we do a change org assignment, it will ask or force us to add or put a value on those custom orgs. Let's see. So the process has been completed. It says it's successfully completed. Change org assignment has been done. So let's go to Vinay again. And here you can see that the region is assigned. When we assign the region, it automatically assigned the region hierarchy as well. The cost center, the company was already assigned, and the supervisory was already assigned. This is how you change the organization of the worker. Another task, if you need to do it in bulk, say change org assignments. Say effective date today. Let's say Swapnos organization or HR. In fact, let's make it a little easier. So I get the organization ID. And with this, I should be able to see all the organization types that are available for the support and the list of employees. So I can do or apply organization changes in one go. So I don't have to run the task of change org assignment for each individual workers. I can do it on a superorg level as well. So say if I select all the employees will be selected or all the members of that superorg will be selected. While that page is loading, let's create a cost center for our executive management. By the way, because this is a test environment, it is slowing down. And another reason is I have remotely logged it into this tenant. So that's why it's slow. Generally speaking, it is not slow like this at all. It is very, very, very quick. We have to log in again. Okay, let's come back to this page a little later while it loads up. This is a task you use change org assignment to change the organizations on the organization types in bulk and the members of those organizations. You can assign either the select all members or select a number of members where you would need to assign a specific organization. Yes, you can. So if you go to the worker's history tab, if I open up the worker, go to the job of that worker and go to worker history. Since the day this employee was hired and all the changes that has happened via the business processes would be listed in the worker history. So Brian Adam is somebody that we hired a couple of days back. So let's look at someone, say Steve Morgan, who would have more time in the organization. So any and all changes on the worker in terms of their contact information, their profile picture, their time off, their promotion, their job change, their compensation changes, the benefits, absence, emergency contacts, one-time payments, everything will be listed here in the worker history. And as it is in a linear fashion, if you'd like to categorize it, you can click on view worker history by category. So in the category, you will see the staffing changes, the organization changes, all the organization events that has happened, any changes in the personal data such as contact information, picture, legal name, ID change, photo change, contact change, all this will be listed here. And say if I go to the compensation tab and time off and leave and career and benefits and all those, they will be categorized for that particular worker in that order. Say as do you want to see who made the changes? So if I click on the business process, so I can see the changes that has been applied. What was total and the amount increase, the total in case of this one-time payment, the reason, the effective date, the position, the employee. And if I click on process, and say, I see the details, compensation change event. And if I click on overall process, and click on full process record from the business process, interesting. One moment. Let's pick up and okay. let's go to one of his activities. Here you can see that, which step of the process was assigned to who and who took the action. So assigned to one person, approved by Steve Morgan, and so on. So you can see in the process section, you can see the individual steps that were assigned to individual people and who has taken an action. All right, let's go back to our change org assignment. Okay, so this is all the organization details. And here on the left, you can see the worker, the position, and what organizations we want to assign to them. Say, for example, here I want to have the CF company. Okay, this is observing an error. So it means one of the organizations are incorrectly configured. That's why it's taking a long time and giving us error again and again. But you can use this task to do changes on a bulk level. Like all the employees of the organization will be pulled up here. You can select the employees by select all or individual employees and then assign them the company that you would like or the organization that you would like to assign them in bulk. But you can do it for one supervisory organization at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and close this for now. So you can also do organization assignment on location. So when creating or editing a location hierarchy, you also have the ability to restrict other types of organizations that can be assigned during staffing changes based on the location of worker's position. You can designate this restriction or org assignment tab on the location hierarchy. So let's open up a location or tenant. Say so for a location hierarchy, which includes, say, a North American hierarchy contains Canada and United States as the subordinates. And in here, you can also specify that any one who is in the location hierarchy of North America, what are the allowed organizations? So you can do also similarly for all the organization types like company, cost center, region, program, division, or say weekend batch, weekday batch, whichever organization that you have created, you can assign the organizations as well. So if anybody who is added to the location hierarchy or the country is added to the location hierarchy of say North America, they will be automatically assigned those custom organizations. So when using the change org assignment task, the organization prompt list of display value allowed in the location hierarchies intersected with the allowed values in the supervisory organization. So if you don't specify the value in the org assignment tab, all values are assignable for that organization type. And how does the organization hierarchy works in Workday? So organization hierarchies are used for reporting to reflect different organization roll-ups. You can change how you roll up the organization at any point, and you can have multiple views, hierarchies of your data as long as the lowest level assignments are correct. Hierarchical or organization types support inheritance of organization roles down the hierarchy. So if we have assigned the company, say at the HR level, and the cost center at the HR level, so any of the other subordinate supervisory organization under HR will all inherit that information from the HR organization itself. So organization hierarchies do not store positions, workers, or transactions, only organizations of a relative type. Therefore, cost center hierarchy stores cost centers, company hierarchy stores companies, and regional hierarchy stores regions. Organizations group positions, workers, and transactions. Positions and workers are created within or hired into a supervisory organizations and locations. So you cannot hire a person in a cost center or a cost center hierarchy. You cannot hire or create a position in a company hierarchy. Right? They can only be created within a supervisory organization. And they are then assigned to other organization types such as companies, cost centers, region, matrix, and any other custom organization. An example of organizational hierarchy, if you have, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cost centers, and the names of the cost centers that we see here are car admin, car R&D, car sales, truck admin, truck R&D, truck sales, and then general admin. So depending on the type and setup of your organizations, you can have multiple types of hierarchies depending on the need of your organization or the policies of your organization. Say, on the left side, we see the same cost centers being developed in a different hierarchy. So on the top is all products, then you have cars, then you have trucks. And under car, you have the car admin, car R&D, car sales. And that under the trucks, you have truck sales, truck R&D, and truck admin. And under all products, you have the general admin. Whereas another way of doing it for a cost center hierarchy is you can have all functions on the top. You can have admin separate, R&D is separate, and sales is separate, depending on how you're doing your cost allocations within your company. So under admin, you have your car admin, truck admin, and general admin. In R&D, you have your car R&D and truck R&D. And under sales, you have your truck sales and car sales. Depending on how your costing allocations for your cost centers are done within the company that you're working with, you can have different type of hierarchies for different companies and organizations. So if I run the task called maintain organization types, So let me bring you back to my slide, which we covered a little earlier. So these are the organization types that we have and whether they are hierarchical or not. So for the costing organizational type, they are non-hierarchical. So you can have company, cost center, and region as your costing organizational type. For hierarchy, you can have a company hierarchy, you can have a cost center hierarchy, you can have a region hierarchy, you can have a location hierarchy. So these are the 4 types of organizations that you can create hierarchies on. In addition to this, you can also create your customer organization and make them hierarchical as well.
Okay.
Right? You can create subordinate, you can divide an existing organization, you can assign a superior organization by creating it. So once you get into the third and second chapter, you will see how I have created
Okay.
subordinates. I have divided the organizations, I have assigned superior as well. And you can do it for all hierarchical organizations.